What if everything we knew about the origins of human civilization was wrong? What if beneath the waves of the Arabian Sea lies a city lost not just to time, but to deliberate silence? Why did an ancient copper seal, never seen before, arrive without a sender, carrying only a cryptic message? The truth lies beneath the waves. Dwarka waits for you. For centuries, legends have whispered of a divine city built by Lord Krishna, an architectural marvel swallowed by the ocean. But are these stories just myth? Or is there something the sea has been hiding and protecting? When a storm uncovers strange new structures off India's coast, marine archaeologist Dr. Amara Patel is called to investigate. What she finds will challenge everything we thought we knew about our history, our ancestors, and the line between science and myth. But some cities vanish for a reason, and not everyone wants them found. The Whispers of Dwarka, India's submerged mystery. The monsoon rains beat against the windows of Dr. Amara Patel's office at Delhi University as she examined the unusual artifact on her desk, a small copper seal depicting what appeared to be an ancient city with elaborate towers and gateways. The postal package it arrived in contained only a cryptic note. The truth lies beneath the waves. Dwarka waits for you. Amara frowned. As one of India's leading marine archaeologists, she was familiar with the legends of Dwarka, Lord Krishna's mythical city, supposedly swallowed by the Arabian Sea thousands of years ago. But despite numerous expeditions, conclusive evidence of the legendary metropolis remained elusive. Her phone buzzed. The caller ID showed Raj Sharma, Archaeological Survey of India. Dr. Patel, Raj's voice was tense. Something's happened at the Gulf of Kambat site. You need to come immediately. 48 hours later, Amara stood on the deck of a research vessel off the coast of Gujarat, watching as divers prepared to descend. The Gulf of Kambat had yielded tantalizing underwater structures in the past, geometric formations that some claimed were the remains of a sophisticated pre-flood civilization. "What exactly did your team find?" she asked Raj, who stood beside her clutching a waterproof tablet. "Sonar picked up new structures after the last cyclone shifted the seafloor sediments," he explained, pulling up a three-dimensional scan that showed what appeared to be the clear outline of city walls and streets now submerged under 30 meters of murky water. "But here's where it gets strange. We've been monitoring this area for decades. These structures weren't visible in any previous scan." "That's impossible," Amara said. "Structures that size don't just appear overnight." "Exactly. And there's more." Raj swiped to another image. "Carbon dating of samples collected yesterday puts these structures at approximately 9,500 years old." Amara's breath caught. That would predate the Indus Valley civilization by over 4,000 years. "Which is why we need your expertise," Raj replied. "This could rewrite the history of human civilization in South Asia if it's authentic." The dive team surfaced 2 hours later, hauling up a collection of artifacts that defied explanation. Fragments of worked stone showing precise geometric patterns, pottery shards with unknown script, and most surprisingly, a copper seal nearly identical to the one that had arrived mysteriously at Amara's office. That evening, as the research team catalogued their findings in the ship's laboratory, Amara noticed an elderly local fisherman watching them from the doorway. "You seek Dwarka," he said in Hindi, his weathered face solemn. "My grandfather's grandfather spoke of it, the city that appears and disappears with the tides of time." Amara approached him. "What do you mean, appears and disappears?" "The ancient texts say Lord Krishna built Dwarka with divine architecture that could rise from and return to the sea. Our people have glimpsed its golden spires throughout the centuries, but only briefly, before it vanishes again." His eyes clouded. "Not everyone wants it found." Before Amara could question him further, a commotion erupted on deck. One of the divers had gone down for a night observation and hadn't returned. A rescue team found his equipment floating abandoned, but no trace of the diver himself. The following morning brought more questions than answers. The underwater structures had somehow shifted position overnight, according to the sonar readings. Some formations had disappeared entirely, while new ones had emerged several hundred meters east of the original site. "This makes no scientific sense," Dr. Vikram Mehta, the expedition's geologist, insisted during their emergency meeting. "Stone structures don't migrate across the seafloor." "Unless they were moved," suggested Nisha Singh, the team's youngest archaeologist. All eyes turned to her. "I've been analyzing the symbols on the pottery fragments," she continued, laying out rubbings of the mysterious script. "They bear striking similarities to Proto-Brahmi script, but with significant differences, and this symbol keeps recurring." She pointed to a distinctive geometric pattern. "It translates roughly to guardian or protector." That afternoon, Amara received a secure video call from Professor Howard Chen at Cambridge University. "I received your images," he said without preamble. "Amara, what you found matches descriptions in texts that have been kept private for centuries. There are certain interests who believe some technologies from ancient India were so advanced they've been deliberately suppressed." "You're talking about conspiracy theories," Amara replied skeptically. "Am I?" 3 previous expeditions that came close to documenting Dwarka suffered unexplained equipment failures. The 1979 expedition lost all their photographic evidence in a mysterious lab fire, and the 2001 team's findings were classified by the government. That night, Amara was awakened by a strange humming sound. Looking out her cabin window, she saw lights moving beneath the water's surface, pulsing in patterns that mirrored the symbols on the artifacts. She quietly made her way to the deck and found Raj already there, staring at the illuminated water. "I've never seen bioluminescence behave like that," she whispered. "That's not bioluminescence," Raj replied, his voice strange. "Look closer." As Amara leaned over the railing, she could make out what appeared to be massive structures shifting beneath the waves, glowing with an internal light that shouldn't be possible. For just a moment, the silhouette of an entire city was visible, towering spires, massive walls, and elaborate gateways just like those depicted on the copper seal. Then, as quickly as it appeared, the vision faded, leaving only dark waters. The next morning, their sonar equipment failed completely. When backup systems finally came online 3 days later, the seafloor appeared completely smooth. No structures, no ruins, nothing to suggest that an ancient city had ever existed there. One by one, the recovered artifacts began to deteriorate at impossible rates, crumbling to dust despite careful preservation techniques. Only the copper seal remained intact. Government officials arrived unexpectedly, confiscating all research materials and requiring everyone to sign non-disclosure agreements. The expedition was officially terminated due to safety concerns. Back in her Delhi office weeks later, Amara stared at the copper seal, the only evidence she'd been permitted to keep. Her computer chimed with an email from an anonymous sender. The message contained only geographic coordinates and a date 2 years in the future, when, according to astronomical calculations, the tides would reach their lowest point in a century. Below that was a line from the ancient Mahabharata. Dwarka reveals itself only to those worthy of its secrets, and only when the time is right. Amara traced her finger over the seal's intricate pattern, remembering the lights beneath the waves. Some mysteries, she realized, might be meant to remain submerged, not because they weren't real, but because the world might not yet be ready for what they revealed about our past, and perhaps about our future.